Let me see if I can explain something to you. And I want you to listen to me. If you think that you're going to be able to figure out what is happening regarding P. Diddy by virtue of reading an unsealed indictment, listening to a few people online, hearing a lot of people postulate and wax fantastic about the implications of this, you're out of your mind. Let me see if I can explain this to you. The two biggest industries today, international, that you should pay close attention to are human trafficking and extortion. Blackmail. Because you get a twofer. You see, it's one thing for you to provide unaccompanied minor children to the tune of what, 38, 40, 80, 100,000, who knows, that cross the border. That's one thing. Very lucrative. Oh my God. The amount of money you can get for a kid. I mean, I'm sorry, but Pablo Escobar on his best day couldn't get near this. Because remember, you don't have to keep going to replenish the product. The product is there. It's in front of you. They're expendable. And when they're done, when they're aged out, when they're too damaged or hurt or harmed, you just disappear them. Goodbye. You don't have to fly over to Bolivia or Colombia, go into the jungles and process this and pay off the federales and fly it back. No. You also have plausible deniability. Who's this kid? Why is she with you? Well, I'm doing the best I can to help out. I'm doing everything I can just to make sure that I'm helping with the effort to help these poor kids. But take it a step further. Let's assume I'm part of an unscrupulous arm of the government, the shadow government. The federal government, not the people with business cards and parking lots. And no. The dark, seamy underbelly of this group of people. Let's assume that. And not only do I have somebody ostensibly, allegedly, remember, P. Diddy is presumed innocent. These are mere accusations. A lot of them as well. But in any event, not only do I have somebody that I am able to control by virtue of what they can do for me, but I have somebody who is my in to a billion-dollar industry, but even bigger in terms of influence, political influence, product influence, commercial influence. I can't, my God. If I owned, let's say, an Oprah, a Jay-Z, a Cat Williams, a Shannon Sharp, anybody. When I say owned, I mean not owned as chattel slavery, of course, but I mean if they owed me by virtue of some kind of a leverage I have over them, do you know what I could do? Oh my God. And not only that, if I have a star, a la that fellow that they dispatched in New York in the federal holding cell, remember him? Remember that guy? That guy who had all of these decades of tapes and videos and thumbnails and hard drives of every conceivable concupiscent activity with the biggest leaders of industry in the world. We don't know where those are, but I digress. But let me go back. If I had the ability to collect documented evidence of illicit, carnal behavior, sometimes, dare I say, with people who might be not old enough to consent. And I had in my possession a veritable trove, a treasure trove, a library of blackmail, the likes of which you can't imagine. Just like with that other fellow who met his maker mysteriously. Imagine you're in the middle of a huge political deal, a huge billion-dollar deal, something about geopolitical implications, and I say, I have something that might persuade you to see it my way. What is it? Well, it's a film. It's a documentation of you doing something that perhaps maybe you shouldn't have. And when it comes time for you to renegotiate your contract with the album or the CD or the right or whatever, let's assume you had a star as big as, and I'm just saying, assume arguendo for the sake of argument, but assume you had a star as big as Taylor Swift, who could go out and make more money, $50,000, $100,000 a ticket. And let's assume by virtue of this relationship, I didn't have to pay that star a penny. Because either they work for me, or I turn over the information and provide them with the exposure of life in prison, or forget the ruination of reputation, but just imagine, do you know what that is? Weapons sales, media contracts, just whatever it is. I hold a piece of evidence that will make you do things you don't want to do. And that evidence happens to involve people of the largest political, business, industrial, entertainment stature of all time. See, this is not about, these cases are not about, and remember, I'm just reading into the P. Diddy. What do I know? I'm just an average guy. But I wouldn't be surprised if the people that are involved with him are right now really sweating bullets. And what comes out of this is interesting because it also inspires new folks, new legions of cooperating citizens and the like, who might be able to make a deal with me and the government or whoever it is now, out of fear that this information might be revealed. You know, the thing that always snares, people of note, big shots, entertainment types, is that they get the impression sometimes that they're just too big, that they don't have to worry about anything, that they don't have to concern themselves with getting caught because they're just too big. Prison is for the usual, for the little people. Remember that? Kind of like that Leona Helmsley. Taxes are for little people. Oh, no. Remember, everybody's entitled to their day in court. Everybody's presumed innocent. But I think you know precisely not only what I'm intimating, but what I'm implying. Now comment as you see fit.